I'm going to show you the one candle that has made me more money than any indicator, any strategy, or any other trading system that I've ever used. It's not complicated. Most of you have seen it hundreds of times and just had no idea on how to take advantage of it. I use this one candle to consistently take 5-figure payouts across multiple prop firms. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to take advantage of it. But first, Discord and mentorship link down in the description below. And if you want the absolute best trading experience possible for the best price, Lucid is running an insane 50% off discount across all of their accounts. They're the best and fastest growing prop in the game right now. Everyone is switching to them, and for good reason. So if you want the best prop firm accounts for the best prices, use code DROBO at checkout. And along with this, Lucid just gave me a free 25K Pro eval to give away to one of my subscribers. So if you want the chance to win a free Lucid account, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and make sure you join the Discord because that's where I'll be picking the winner sometime next week. Okay, so now getting into what this one candle is and how to take advantage of it. So as you guys can see right here, we have a chart pulled up. This is from the graph of NQ. This was a couple weeks ago, and this is based on a real trade that I actually took, and I have footage of it that we can look at later. But first, just getting into the setup of the trade and everything that's going on prior to this and what we're looking for from this one candle setup that I'm talking about. So when we're looking to take an entry and execute on a trade, I'm going to look for a candle with a long wick in the opposite direction of where I want price to go. So now what exactly do I mean by that? So if we look here, if you look right here, this is a solid uptrend. This is on the 1-minute chart. This is an uptrend that we have established right here. As you can see, this candle right here, this is what I would call a rejection candle. We have a huge wick where price rejected an attempt to sell off and then immediately turned into a continuation of the current trend. So as you can see, we are uptrending. We have this huge rejection wick, and then we continue our uptrend. This is an example of the wick that I would love to use either as an entry or as confirmation that my entry is a good one or that price is going to continue in the direction that I want it to. Now, this is kind of an extreme example, or rather like a perfect example of a rejection wick, because price rejected on the 1-minute graph and then immediately shot up. This is like approximately 20 to 30 points right here. So this is a huge move, basically instantly profitable, never in any drawdown. And that's just how strong these rejection candles can be as long as you are using them in the right way. So now what's the right way to use them? So I don't like to use them to go against the current trend. So I like to establish my bias early on as to whether I think longs or shorts are going to be the play. And then once trend gets in my favor, I will start using rejection wicks in my direction to then justify my entries. And not all rejection wicks are going to be created equal. So as you guys can see here, this is a textbook rejection wick. But again, if it isn't towards the direction that you want price to move, then it matters much less than one that is in the current direction that you're expecting price to go. So it's something to keep in mind. If you see a rejection wick going against what you think price should do, you can use that information to figure out where your trade might be taking a turning point or where you might be losing a little bit of momentum in your trade. But at the same time, rejection wicks going against the trend are much less meaningful than ones going with the trend. So with that being said, I want to move on to over here in this chart, where you can see that we've entered a downtrend. Our highs are getting lower and our lows are getting lower. So as you can see, based on that alone, this is the start of a downtrend. And with this established downtrend that we have right now, you can see there are multiple different rejection wicks along our path here. Most notably, we start right here. This is the first real rejection that we see. Price comes back up and does not continue the uptrend that we had previously established. And we start making new lower lows. Another rejection wick is right here. There's another one right here. There's another one right here. This one's a little bit smaller, but still price is rejected. Price shoots up very briefly, and then price instantly goes back right where it was. And then we're continuing in the direction that we're heading in over the past 30 minutes here on the chart. And then right here, you can see this one candle that we have right here, this 1-minute rejection. This is the best one. And this is the one where price is going to absolutely take off in the downward direction from, because you can see here, we just have a great downtrend channel forming right here. We tried to break above this prior high here. We failed, and we failed hard. This is approximately a 10-point rejection, and this is during the Asia session. So as you know, the Asia session volume and volatility are a little bit lower when compared to the New York session. So As you can see, a perfect rejection. We have a huge wick, we have a small candle body, and from here, price decides to skyrocket downward, which is exactly what we wanted. And this is the trade that I actually ended up taking on my funded accounts, which enabled me to take a $10,000 payout just from this one single trade alone. The way that I had my trade set up was I actually entered off this rejection right here. And just like I had talked about before, a rejection wick doesn't always have to be your entry. It can also be your confirmation on what's going on. So I entered here off of this much smaller rejection wick. This one isn't as textbook or perfect as the one that we see later on right here. But nonetheless, I entered on this rejection right here. And then just a little bit later, I get this insane confirmation rejection candle right here. That lets me know that my trade is most likely going to continue in my direction for the foreseeable future. And then based off this one type of candle that we have right here that is continually showing up, this is what allowed me to take a huge winning trade of over $4,000 across 5 different prop firm accounts that I had in on this trade. Okay, now here I have some footage of the actual trade that I took. I initially took this trade on my phone because I wasn't home, so I wasn't able to record the actual trade when I had first entered. But as you can see right here, that's that rejection wick that I was talking about. Here later on is the confirmation. And then from this point, we just have a massive sell-off towards my price target. And then just for a little bit of context, this trade actually took well over an hour to fully take profit. So I'm gonna have to speed up through this trade just so you guys have an idea of how long this actually took. So obviously up until this point of the trade, no complaints. We did have a little bit of a pullback that got kind of scary right here, but I didn't move to break even. I've been focusing on letting my trades actually run out and trusting the reads that I have and not moving to break even early and not taking profit early, stuff like that. I like to base my trades off of the reason that I entered, and I like to trust what I'm actually seeing in the market. There's a reason for my stop loss, there's a reason for my take profit, and then everything in between, I just have to let the market do its thing. Unless I see something crazy or weird or unexpected happening, I try not to touch my trades too much in sense of moving my break even or taking profit early. So anyway, getting back into the trade here, of course, we did get a little bit of a pullback and that was kind of scary, but we immediately rejected that and went back to doing what we'd been doing before. So now as I scrub through a little bit more, you can see that we're starting a little bit more. There's some big green candles coming that again are also a little bit scary, but again, there's a reason for the trade. There was a downtrend on the high time frame, downtrend on the low time frame. So I set my price target and then I let price do its thing, no matter how much it wants to test me or scare me with these big green candles. So moving along here, we're just going to keep watching price and see if anything weird happens. I don't think anything too crazy ever does happen. This is just a pretty steady downward move with nothing else really going on. So yeah, as time goes on, we're just constantly, and then as you can see right here, this is another perfect example of a rejection candle, and you can see just how powerful these things can be when they're in the direction that you want them to be in. So you see this huge rejection right here, big wick, and then instantly price drops 20 points. And 20 points with NQ is a huge swing. This trade ends up being right around 100 points, as you can see right here. My entry is 73. My take profit is also 73. So it's 100 points between my entry and my exit. So if we get these huge 20 to 30 point moves in our direction based on these rejection candles, that's going to be a huge thing in order for boosting our profits and making the most out of our trades. All right, so I'm just going to keep going here and watch what happens with the price. We're entering the area of a previously established low. So these are normally going to be places where price likes to chop around a little bit or orders get super aggressive in this area, usually because a lot of people have stop losses. A lot of people are making trades based on these prior lows that we have established here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of pullback right here, or if we see price just shoot through this previously established low that we have right here. So let's see what happens here. And we do shoot through it extremely heavily. These prior highs and lows are such good indications that price is either going to shoot through it or reject off of it. These areas are such battlegrounds for orders that time and time again, you'll see what I'm talking about. The more you trade, the more experience you have, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say that these previously established lows and highs are battlegrounds for prices and orders. But this is just a great example of we shot through this previously established low, which is another great indication to me that we're going to continue on even lower. So now I'm going to continue scrolling through the video here. We almost hit our take profit right here. We miss it by about 5 points, which is no big deal. Price does look like it's starting to reject it a little bit. We come back green a little bit. Again, not a huge deal. You can't just expect price to only go in your favor. There's going to be some ups and downs, and there's going to be pullbacks and stuff like that. I switched to a different chart right there just to get a different view of what the different 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, what all the different charts are looking like, all the different time frames. You can see we get a little bit of rejection there from this candle here, which is a good sign for me. Another rejection candle right here. And again, the trend, we've not established a new high. Just because we've had a string of these green candles right here, I'm still not worried about it. Nothing is telling me that we're starting an uptrend. We're still continuing to make lower highs and lower lows. So I'm trusting the trade and going to let it keep playing out. You can see at this point, since I got within 5 points of my take profit, I've moved to break even at this point. Okay, you can see more green candles coming here. But again, we've not established a new high, so not a big deal. A new higher high, I mean. And then you can see price is retesting. Price is retesting this low right here. And we're going to see what happens based on that. We get a huge pullback here, which this is definitely a weird sign to me. You can see me hovering over my my break even right here, like trying to see what's going on, because this is an insane candle that we have formed right here. But we never broke this previous high right here. This is just another indication to me that we have a chance to continue our downtrend because we didn't break this prior high. And then during such a volatile time like this, when you have a huge candle that shoots up super fast like this, it's a 1 minute candle and it shoots up like 30 points instantly. Usually whenever orders come in super quickly like that, they will come in the opposite direction a little bit later on. So I'm not surprised at all that this decided to flip against it. We shoot up super fast. We don't break our previously established high. And now we're starting to come back down towards my take profit. And just shortly here, you can see that I'm moving down to this, because if this does start an uptrend, I don't want to be caught when a reversal happens, especially in such a volatile time like that with this huge 30-point candle right here. If price wants to start an uptrend right now, I'm not taking a break even. I'm going to lock in some of my profits. You can see our downtrend that we had established doesn't look as good anymore. It's still there. It's still, all the fundamentals of a downtrend are fine. But you see that we've not yet made a new lower low. So that's one thing that's a little bit of a red flag to me. And then on top of that, we almost broke this prior high that we have established, this lower high. So that's also not a good thing. So moving our trade to where we're locking in about $2,400 of profit. And then before we know it, the trade hits full profit, and that leads to a $10,000 payout in just a couple more trading days with my 5 Lucid funded accounts. And that's about all there is to it. These rejection candles are some of the most powerful candles that you can find when trading. It's one of the things I base all of my trades on. A lot of times rejection candles are going to be my entries and my executions, but not always. Like I said before in the video, they can be used as confirmation as well. So you don't always have to time it perfectly. There's a ton of information in these candles, and they're extremely powerful as well. So hopefully you figured out a way to implement them into your trading as well.